Almost. The little red line creeps across the screen. All right, I believe we are live. Tested the chat, that works. Okay, we're good. All right, Mamie, we have Caitlin on Zoom and we have Chris Swihart on Zoom. That's how they're going to be doing their portions of the meeting. That's green, right? Mamie, can you hear me?
She's muted.
No, she's.
I can see her speaking into.
Yeah, but she's not on.
Doesn't look like the audio is working for her.
Maybe we don't have any audio for you, but I don't show that you're muted either, so.
There we
There
go.
we go.
There it is. It
Now
shows
I'm
she's
muted.
muted.
Hello?
There you go.
Hello?
All right.
Can you hear me?
We got
Yes.
you. We got you now. Okay.
Okay. Good morning. The Finance Committee is now in session. Thank you. Our agenda, 911 Director Caitlin Samsel.
I'm going to do roll call on that stuff first.
Oh, thank you. Help me. Stephanie,
Stephanie. Yeah.
Stephanie
Commissioner Yarborough,
present.
Commissioner Harrison,
Present on Zoom from Lincoln Township.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Thank you.
Commissioner Hinkleman,
Present from Bainbridge Township.
Commissioner Scott.
Yes, I'm here live from Studio Z in beautiful New Buffalo Township on Zoom.
Thank you. I may be Yarborough from Benton Harbor on Zoom. Thank you. What's next? I have an agenda here and it says 911 Director Caitlin Samsel.
Yep, Caitlin is on Zoom. I'm going to go ahead and mute our room so you can hear her.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good
Morning.
morning.
So I came to you back in September, I believe it was, regarding the VHF link from the Bertrand water tank to Sumnerville. And that equipment had failed. It's no longer made. It needs to be replaced. We had a solution that was proposed by our vendor. We were moving forward with that after your approval. Unfortunately, we were notified that the FCC has placed a freeze on anything to do with those frequencies. So the 4.9 gigahertz frequencies have been completely frozen, and we will not be able to move forward with that. If we were to purchase the equipment, we could get a temporary approval for that, but no guarantee that we would get full approval after that. So it's really not a smart decision to move that way. So we went back with the vendor to determine an alternate solution, and they have proposed the next most cost effective is to do the 11 gigahertz band equipment. That is more expensive, unfortunately, but that will be a possible solution for us to get us back up in the Bertrand area for our fire departments that use the VHF system down there still. So the original cost on the 4.9 was $31,125 as amended. And the new cost for the 11 gigahertz solution is a total of $44,445 in order to bring that back into operation. They count on that not only for paging, but for their operations in the field and communicating back with dispatch and the other fire departments. So I am coming back to you with this new number because it is quite higher in order to get approval to move forward with that. I do say that we spoke about this with our last 911 advisory committee meeting, which was last week. And they have requested that we have a subsequent meeting with our technical committee and bring in those fire departments down in that area to further discuss before we move forward, absolutely. But they have requested that I come back to finance to get the approval so that if and when the decision is made to make that repair, we can do so very quickly. Does anybody have any questions for me about any of this?
Caitlin, this is Commissioner Scott. I have
Yes,
a
sir.
question. Did they give you a reason why? Are they just not taking any more bandwidth on 4.9? Or are they just discontinuing 4.9 and moving it technologically, I guess, to 11 gigahertz? You know, and if so, and if we do go with this, with the 11 gigahertz, how is that going to affect whatever equipment we already have?
Good questions. So the 4.9, the FCC has frozen that. It is currently dedicated for public safety only. And they have decided that they would like to look at making that available commercially. So that's why that has been frozen for any further approvals or moves on any applications. I'm told that that process could take up to a year before it becomes available again, and that they'll be moving that approval then towards the state. And that's still kind of not clearly spelled out as to what's going to happen with it. As far as the 11 gigahertz, that's just an alternate solution that our vendor Telered has found as a possibility. So that's unrelated to the FCC's decision directly. It's just the next solution that they located as being the best for us. And then as far as your second question with compatibility with the system, the 11 gigahertz is also approved to be on the 800 megahertz system. So we had originally talked about this equipment once we dismantled the Jeff in the end of 2022, that we could repurpose this equipment for our 800 megahertz system. The 11 gigahertz is approved to be on the state system. Unfortunately, it's disparate from the rest of our equipment versus the other solution would have been the same as the rest of our equipment. So it doesn't really make good financial sense for us to repurpose this equipment for that at this point, because all of our other equipment is in the 4.9 and those sorts of radios that we were looking at for. So this is different equipment. So I've talked to the vendor about that, and the possibility is there that we could resell this equipment once we are no longer using it for VHF to one of the other counties that does use the 11 gigahertz equipment. So we could recover some of our cost in that regard. But as far as on the VHF system, it will work just fine once it's up. The link would be fine for that system.
Okay, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Other questions? And so how long will it take? It'll be, you don't have to have our approval. And then when you talk with the users and the different boards, you all would then be ready to order it, Caitlin?
Yes. So once we have that technical meeting, which we are scheduling for later this month, with the users down in that area with the county, then we could move forward with the vendor. This band also requires frequency licensing. So we have to then go to the FCC to get licensing for the frequencies, which takes a little bit of time. And then they have to order the equipment in. And because of the pandemic, the equipment is not coming in as quickly. So I've been told that the anticipation time may be a few months to get it up and running once we move forward with the okay.
Okay. And is this, I was reading something about a water tower, or it's somewhere that it's going to be placed?
Yes, so the Bertrand site is at the water tank. And so it's the Niles water tank. It's actually located in Bertrand, at Bertrand Crossing.
Okay. Any other questions? Then do we need a motion to approve this?
Yeah, we should have a motion on that, but Caitlin, I don't have that stack in front of me. Oh, yes, I do. It's an additional amount, right? That when they,
Yeah.
trying to,
Yes.
Madam Chair, this is Commissioner Scott. I'll make that motion to approve this change from the 4.9 gigahertz equipment to the 11 gigahertz.
Okay, is it a resolution, Annette?
no, it's not a resolution, it's just a motion for her to move forward with this project. So Stephanie, it was an increase of 13,320
Okay,
is what we're looking for. And that was Commissioner Scott, is that right?
Yes, it is.
yes.
This is Commissioner Harrison. I'll second Commissioner Scott's motion.
So let me ask, these little boxes that are on Stephanie's, is one of these that information? Or what we're,
You mean in the agenda packet that you sent out, Mamie?
yes,
Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, I think we did include the letter,
Yeah, it's
didn't we?
all attached.
Yeah.
okay, all right. Any other discussion, any other questions? Would you call the roll, please, Stephanie?
Commissioner Yarborough,
Yes.
Commissioner Harrison,
Yes.
Commissioner Hinkleman,
Yes.
He said it.
Commissioner Scott.
But of course, yes.
Thank you. It passes. Thank you. Caitlin, please go ahead and order what you need to do.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Mhm. The next, Annette, can you tell me the next? item?
Yep, absolutely. So the next one is Information Systems Director Chris Weihart. He also has Kip Coolidge in the room with him there at the table. They're on Zoom, and they're going to talk to you about the resolution for selecting a vendor for the server and storage infrastructure replacement that he's already been back to you once about, but he has a final decision on that. So, Chris?
Good morning.
Good morning. Would you tell me, please, the other gentleman's name and spell it for us?
This is Kip Coolidge, and he's my operations manager. I brought him in today. He helped me put the RFP together, and is kind of my technical back here that has some of the additional technical information if we needed to dig into that at all.
Okay, thank you.
I brought him along with me today. Hi there.
Welcome.
So if you remember back, it's been a while now, back at the end of August, I came to you with a recommendation for our RFP that we put out for our server storage data center upgrade. I recommended that we go with, we had several bid responses, and I recommended that we go forward and negotiate with Logicalis. I spent the last couple of months negotiating terms with them, making sure that the bid proposal that they submitted had all the licensing, fit all the technical needs, and that the pricing was final, that we weren't going to have to add any additional or spend any additional costs. So we took some time working back and forth with them, and we got the number down. There's no change to the initial bid response, which is $391,995.76. That includes all the licensing, everything we need to turn this thing up and get it going. I then worked several weeks with corporate counsel and going back and forth between Logicalis's attorneys and corporate counsel, and they finally came up with an agreeable contract. So it's been approved by our corporate counsel. Logicalis is in agreement, and at this point, I would like to move forward. I'm bringing my final recommendation to move forward with Logicalis and move forward with the purchase. So you should have my final recommendation and the resolution in front of you here today. And so I'm asking that we can move forward with this.
Do you have questions, committee?
Madam Chair, this is Commissioner Scott. The question isn't for Chris or Kip. Administrator Doucette, have you reviewed all of this? And have you signed off on this yet?
Yeah, yes, I'm aware of the project. I'll freely admit that the level of complexity that's being described here is beyond me. So this is something that has been reviewed by finance. It was bid. Our corporate counsel has worked for the better part of a couple of months on massaging the contract so that it's an acceptable document for the county. And our leadership in IS says this is what we need to advance the county. So my recommendation is to proceed. But to say exactly what this is going to do, that is not my bailiwick.
No, I understand, but I appreciate, and I think we need your recommendations on anything that we do, because it is a department situation. So not taking anything away from you, Chris, but I always defer to our county administrator.
I completely understand, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Commissioners, any other, Commissioner Hinkleman?
Yes, Chris and Kip, I just a quick question. I read through the contract and I realize that once again, better minds than mine have purviewed this, but are you guys really happy and satisfied with the service agreement? When these type of things, the warranty and the service, my opinion, that's what this is all about. And so I think there was one statement in there that I can't refer to right now, but it indicated that I don't want it to be limited. I want you guys to be comfortable with the service agreement and the maintenance agreement that they're providing, and you feel comfortable with that?
Yes, I mean, everything that we've worked for is to make sure that we have because this is the backbone of the county. This houses all our data, runs all our servers. So it's something that we need to make sure that we have 24/7 coverage and we can have quick response on. And I think that that's been covered in the maintenance agreements and the contract, and I feel comfortable. We did a lot of research into this technology. We talked to a lot of referrals. I mentioned in my previous meeting that I talked to, it was the state of Michigan department, the legislature that is actually using this equipment, and they have been very happy. So, I feel I've really done my homework to try and make sure that we're using the county's money responsibly, that this is going to be a good and reliable system. We've used HP for a very long time and have had very good reliability, and I feel that this is a good direction to go. It's taken our network to that next step. We're getting a lot of technology improvements out of this. The ability to turn up servers and have the licensing built in without having to go out and buy servers all the time, plus the ability to do snapshot recovery, and there's just a lot of added feature. Performance is going to be much better than we are today. So I'm really happy with the solution. I think it's going to be a good move and put the county in a good position going forward.
Thank you for your due diligence. Thank you.
Thank
That
you.
was a very good question, Commissioner Hinkleman, and a very good answer, Chris.
Thank you.
We have worked on this, and Brian will never know or understand. I've been on here 16 years, and we've been coming off the mainframe for more than that, longer than that. So thank you so much. Any other questions?
Yeah, Madam Chair, it's not a question, it's a statement to our administrator. I'm still holding strong with the jail.
I think the replacement of the mainframe will be accomplished within your lifetime.
My money's betting on the jail first.
Thank you. Okay.
I'm ready
Commissioner
to make
Scott, I think it's worth noting that yesterday afternoon, tied to the jail project, excavation was occurring that ripped out not only the natural gas line, but also the Comcast line. So that jail project is once again neck and neck with this mainframe project.
And is this on our a resolution or anything on our agenda?
Right, so it's a little confusing how I did this, because I guess I was thinking in my head that you guys needed to see this resolution and then we would move it forward on the agenda if you guys were good with it for today. Actually, I had already put it on the agenda, so sorry, Chris, for all of that confusion. So it's a resolution, it's gonna go to the full board. We would like to ask you though, if you do, you'll see on the revised agenda that I sent you today that I've moved your committee reports up above the consent calendar, because there's resolutions on the consent calendar that have to do with what you guys have talked about, both you and PHSC. Yes. So do you would you feel comfortable if we had Chris on Zoom at least accessible in case we have any questions at the Board of Commissioners meeting?
Yes, that would be so good, because I had written down what he said, or the basic things, and let him, even the end thing about how satisfied he is with what it will do, I think would be a real plus to say.
Okay, so Chris, are you able to sign on at 10:30?
Yeah, just send me the link information if it's different from this one.
Yep, I'll get you that as soon as we're done with this meeting then. So this is just a resolution. I don't need a motion or anything like that. If you have concurrence, we'll just move it forward and it'll go to the Board of Commissioners today.
Thank you.
Madam Chair? I
Yes,
have one question for Annette. Usually when we move resolutions out of committee to the board, don't we usually have a voice vote on whether we're going to send that forward, and especially this being a turnaround, because usually it takes 2 weeks. So I would like to, if need be, I would like to make the motion that we have this approved to get put on the agenda for full board approval today, and to waive the 2 weeks.
thank you. May I have a support?
This is Commissioner Harrison. I'll support the motion.
Thank you. Any other questions or discussion? Stephanie, would you call the roll, please?
Commissioner Yarborough,
Yes.
Commissioner Harrison,
Yes.
Commissioner Hinkleman,
Yes.
Commissioner Scott.
Yes.
Thank you. It passes. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair and Chair.
And Kip, thank you.
See you at 10:30.
Mhm.
We'll see you
Servers are our friends. Servers are our friends.
Yes, they are.
Very much so. Thank you.
All right.
Next item.
Next, yeah, we were looking for a motion. We got committee businesses as the remainder of the meeting, and we just need a motion to approve the minutes of the October 22nd meeting.
May I have a motion, please?
This is Commissioner Harrison. I'll make the motion to approve the minutes from October 22nd.
Thank you. I have a support.
Yeah, as Commissioner Scott, I'll support.
Thank you. Any questions or corrections? Stephanie, would you call the roll, please?
Commissioner Yarborough,
Yes.
Commissioner Harrison,
Yes.
Commissioner Hinkleman,
Yes.
Commissioner Scott.
Yes.
Thank you. The motion carries. Any other business?
Yeah, there's a contract modification from bid 2020-047 for Lakeshore Road in Chickamine Township. I sent the documentation of the road department's contract modification, and then I revised one that just kind of talks a little bit more about it. The road fell apart more than anticipated over the spring and summer, increased traffic from Shady Lane to Pier Road. And so the road department has said that required thicker scratch course prior to paving. So it would be a net change of $10,829.87. And we would be looking for a motion to approve the contract modification to project P20136 in the amount of $10,829.87 and authorize the county administrator to execute the contract modification.
Okay. May I have a motion to that, please?
And this is Commissioner Harrison. I'll make the motion.
Thank you. A support?
This is Commissioner Scott. I'll support the discussion.
Any questions?
This is Commissioner Scott. I have a question for the road department people who are on. Was this contract modification, is this net change of 10,829.87, is this being picked up by the county or the road department, or is this part of Chickamine Township's responsibility under their road millage?
Commissioner Scott, this is being funded by the township.
Thank you.
Yep.
Can you tell me the name of the road again, what it was?
Lakeshore Road?
Okay, thank you. Because I remember reading it said it's falling apart. Okay, the motion carries. Did we vote on it?
Yeah, we need a roll call, I believe, don't we, Steph? Yeah, okay, we still need the roll call.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Yarborough,
Yes.
Commissioner Harrison,
Yes.
Commissioner Hinkleman,
Yes.
Commissioner Scott.
Yes.
Thank you. Annette?
Yep, so the only other two things that I have for you are your standard, weekly bills resolution and your road payables resolution, if you didn't have any questions about those, and I just need concurrence to move those forward.
Okay. Any questions on any bills? Okay, so that would be moved forward.
Perfect.
Pay bills.
I guess I gotta check for public comment now.
Okay,
Madam Chair, while Annette's doing that,
yes.
I just wanted to give this committee a heads up that we are nearing the point of coming back and having a more lengthy discussion on the Silver Beach erosion control project. Next Tuesday, I'll meet with PHSC. Parks falls under PHSC, that's their parent committee, so we'll present the project details at that time. This afternoon, I'll be meeting with the admin committee. The park improvement project's in a little bit of a gray area, so I'm taking it to admin, to PHSC, and then I'll be coming back to finance, asking this committee for final approval on the amount. The good news is the project came in under bid. We had an engineer's estimate of 200 grand. Round numbers, it looks like about 130,000 to get the work done. I'm still working with the City of St. Joe to finalize a potential partnership, so I don't want to have you all look at it today knowing that potentially next Monday, the City of St. Joe could offer a motion of support to assist with the project.
Good.
So just giving you a heads up that next Thursday morning, I'll be asking you to consider that project.
I thank you for talking to us, because when I read it, that's what I said, which one of these three are we going with? I do want to know the person that's over the project, this initials, E.G. something. Did we make a contract with him? We're paying him for being our person? The company?
Oh, Edgewater Resources.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. So I want to say a month ago, the Board of Commissioners approved a motion to engage Edgewater for the design and permitting.
Yeah.
They've completed that. They've now prepared a recommendation. Again, it'll go to admin today for a full review. Next Tuesday, PHSC will be asked for a full review. And then rounding it out, it'll come to finance for the actual contract approval.
Mm-hmm. And the recommendation was to go with the rock,
Yeah.
not that sand.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay, do you all have any other questions about that?
So by the time we look at this Commissioner Harrison, we would expect the City of St. Joe to have made a determination what they'll do. Is that correct?
Yep. So Commissioner Harrison, I spoke for, I don't know, 20 minutes or so last night with the St. Joe City Manager. He agreed that he would ask his board for consideration on that partnership agreement. Earlier this morning, I sent a fairly lengthy memo to him with details on the project, total bid amounts, and then an estimated lineal footage of how much of the project provides direct benefit to the city's infrastructure.
Okay, good. Any other questions? Okay, thank you.
I've checked public comments. You don't have any public comments, but just a side note that we do have bid openings for next Thursday and the following Thursday. So we will have to have finance committee meetings for the next 2 weeks at 9 o'clock. I don't know what else is on there, but we'll have bid openings at least.
All right, next 2 weeks, you say?
Yep.
Okay. Did any of those resolutions that we needed to move sooner? Did we do everything you wanted us to do to pass things today? Annette?
Yeah, the other one's coming out of PHSC. It's for, a contract for the waiting room app that they're wanting to use for immunization clinics. Allows people to wait outside and then they get called in when it's their turn.
Okay,
And that's PHSC's added resolution for today.
okay. Any other questions, committee?
Madam Chair, this
Yes,
is Commissioner Scott, this is for our administrator. Brian, we're going to do the annual budget today, the public hearing.
Yeah.
It is not scheduled. And am I correct to say that we are not going to have any place in today where we're going to approve this budget?
it's on there though. It is on. It's right under the health department. It's under Nikki Britton.
I know it's a public hearing. Public
Right.
hearing is one thing for us to vote as a board to adopt the budget. That's what I'm concerned with because I just got this the other day and I've got a lot of overgoings to go through it. And I just wanted to find out because that's not on the agenda.
I see what you mean,
Correct.
that motion, a motion.
Commissioner Scott, no formal action will be requested today other than hosting a public hearing. The budget adoption would not occur until the next meeting, at the November 12th meeting of the full Board of Commissioners.
Thank you.
Yep.
So,
We want to send that resolution out to them for review in advance, maybe for the 10th.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, I'll send the resolution out to you guys as soon as we're done here so that everybody on board has it in preparation of the public hearing.
Okay, thank you. That's all I had, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Anything else? And this meeting is adjourned. We will see you at 10:30 a.m.
Thank you.
Bye. I'd like to leave it set just like it is.